John Daly from Kilconnell, Ballinasloe, County Galway. We're after one of the probably most miserable summers bar 2012 in a long time. There's farmers around that have a lot to cut. Like we have one farmer there that has 200 acres left to cut, to give him a hand. I've never seen as much cordon to be cut at this stage of the year in September. The days are so short, it's so tough. Some of the cordon is absolutely flat, and there's no hope of getting it. No hope, bar we get 3 weeks or 4 weeks of fine weather, which at this stage of the year I don't know what we get.
My name is Claire Daly. I'm married to John Daly in Kilconnell, Ballinasloe, County Galway. We're tillage farmers for quite a number of years. Now I know there has been plenty of bad years, but this year seems to be exceptionally bad. The bigger picture here is men don't discuss when they have, a bad year maybe in the tillage. Ground is very wet, the crops aren't doing very well. You spend a lot of time out in the farm preparing your ground and getting it ready to have a good crop at the end of the year. The weather forecast plays a huge factor in our lives. Every night it comes on, and if John is not home, which generally he's not, for 9:30, so he would ask me to, watch the weather forecast and every little detail, like where the rain is coming in and exactly where it's going to be, and he needs to know. Now he has an app on his phone, and it actually shows him, it actually will tell him the time of when the rain is going to come. So he knows that maybe at 6 o'clock in the evening or 2 o'clock in the day that there's going to be rain, and he knows that nothing can be done. So it's literally, we watch the forecast like hawks, and it gives us then our plan for what we're going to do for not even like the next week, because we can't look that far ahead anymore. It's like the next day or the next hour.
It's just a constant battle. It's a constant battle. You're looking outside there to see is there going to be 2 hours together or 3 hours together that you can cut 5, 6, 10 acres at a time. It's just a battle.
John, he's a bit of a workaholic, and everybody knows him as a workaholic. He works very, very hard and very long hours. A lot of the pressures wouldn't fall upon me as a mother and the wife of the house. It would fall on John. The payments have to fall on John. But this year things aren't good. There's no money being made this year in relation to tillage because of the conditions.
I've noticed that the mood is getting depressed. That lads are beginning to realise we're gone to past the middle of September. Still huge acreage of cordon to be cut, and it's not only here. It's from Kinsale to Donegal. It's all over the country. I can't understand. Normally we'll say the lads down south and on the east coast would be finished. It'll be finished a fortnight before us, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and that's a pure sign that the bad weather is all over the country.
I suppose mental health would, come in big time here when the farmer is under pressure. We as tillage farmers have nobody to, bounce it off against. The government don't seem to be too interested in helping the likes of the tillage farmer. If we get a bad year, it's suffer the loss and pick up the pieces and move on. They fight for, I suppose, equal rights in all aspects of farming, but for tillage, there is nobody to give you a helping hand. You're dependent on the man above for the weather, and we haven't got it this year,
The IFA have just this morning have looked for funding from a disaster fund from EU and from the Department of Agriculture. It is a disaster, it is an out and out disaster, and we need funding to stay in existence.
For the tillage farmer, if you have a bad year, you have to suffer the consequence yourself. There's nothing that you can do that's going to make it any better.
I'd hope that the Department of Agriculture will row in behind us and realise how serious this situation is, and not be differentiating us between the dairy sector and the tillage sector. The tillage sector is every bit as big a spend in expenditure as the dairy sector, and I don't see why we should be any different. Even this morning there I was disking a field there to put it back into grass. We are going to put it back into grass as much as we can, because this can't go on.
People are, I suppose they're getting better in noticing mental health with men now, but I think that they not just need to notice it, but they need to address it. They need to address it as in, when they know there's a bad year and farmers are in difficulty, they need to pull all the stops out and give that farmer a helping hand. Not every farmer has somebody at home that they can talk to. And even sometimes if they do, they won't go home and talk. You know, they keep it to themselves, and they don't want maybe the wife to know, or their partner to know, or their mother or their father at home to know that things aren't as good as what they used to be. Maybe when your father might have had the farm, or, you know, when it was in the family name, and now it's been passed on to you and you're trying to survive. You know, and then you know that there isn't the same money there. You're trying to hide it from them because, you know, you just don't want anybody to know. So I think that when farmers are in difficulty, the government need to stand in, give them a helping hand, and, you know, keep the country rolling, because without the tillage farmer, you've got nothing. You cannot even put your food on the table without the tillage farmer.